shave off the beginning.
Okay, welcome. This is a ritual of protection as we're going into unpredictable times where our social institutions are under threat. This is a good time for a protection ritual. Now, as we do protection rituals, we can think of many different ways of protection. We could envision guardians with flaming swords surrounding us, but I think there's quite enough of that going on already. Encountering using force against force really isn't the best way to approach things, especially from a magical perspective. We could also do a ritual of invisibility, but I really don't think that's appropriate for this time. Something we could do at another time. So what I've chosen is the energies of the Four of Pentacles. My old Rider-Waite deck. When we consider the Four of Pentacles, we can look at it as the energies of E.S.S.G from the Kabbalah and the world of Isaiah. The benevolent, ordering energies of E.S.S.G as expressed through the world of Isaiah. From my concourse of forces, Four of Pentacles, security. This power represents the use of laws and rules to ensure the security of one's person and one's belongings. This is a power which protects one against the calamities and unforeseen misfortune by invoking the social symbols of the protective institutions and using their powers to protect one's interests. An image of this power is the fortress, wherein one is ensured protection. Since our social institutions are at risk, now is the time to use magic to bend them to correctly protect us as they're intended to. So how do we do this? It's a series of rituals. What we're going to do is we're going to invoke the powers that be and charge 4 small stones. 4 common stones will become the talismans of this ritual. You want common objects, so you can place them around your home, your dwelling, or even just simply around your bed. If somebody sees them, they won't be tempted to take them. So the ritual to invoke the Four of Pentacles is probably the second one I learned when I joined the order of the E.S.S.G. It's a very simple ritual called the Pyramid of Powers. It invokes a Sephirah, one of the 10 Kabbalistic Sephirahs, the emanations of the divine, and combines it with an element. In this case, it would represent one of the 4 worlds of the Kabbalah, emanations. That's good. But we want something a little more powerful than that. So we're going to invoke an Enochian angel to be our power base. Now there are 16 elemental Enochian angels. 16 because they each rule one of the 4 Kabbalistic worlds, one of the 4 elemental tablets, and they're rulers of the subsections of those tablets. This is one of the 4 Enochian tablets that fit together to make the Great Table. This one's color-coded. As we can see in this, she probably won't show up very well, but this is one of the darker quadrants. This is the Earth quadrant of the Earth Table. Her name is Abalpete Arbizod. 2 names written down and across, 10 letters. She's a Sephirotic angel. 10 letters in her name. Gives the Sephirotic correspondence. 16 angels, 4 tablets, 4 elements. There are also 16 court cards. that have the same correspondence. The Page of Pentacles. She is the Earthy, as in Pentacles, and as Page, she's also an Earth card. So this card can be seen as to represent Earth of Earth. The 16 Enochian Sephirotic or elemental angels are quite powerful, but they're very simple. They make an excellent power source or base to enhance ritual work. So for this ritual, we will actually be doing 3 separate rituals. The first is the temple consecration, where we will consecrate the sacred space, call our spiritual allies, who will be the 4 archangels of the Tetramorph, and sanctify the sacred space. So we always do a temple consecration. The next ritual will be the invocation of our Enochian angel, Earth of Earth, our Page. So how do we do that? In this style of magic, we use what is called a resonant field type of invocation, or it's also called simulacrum. It has a very ancient origin. The idea is that we create an energy field that matches the energy of our target entity, and then we call her in. The advantage of this is we are certain that the spirit that shows up will be the spirit that we're calling. As we create an energy field around ourselves that is of the energy of the spirit that we're calling, we become imbued with that energy and experience it. And when we call her in, it's like inviting a friend in to a perfect meal that they love. So how do we go about creating the energy field for Earth of Earth? It's very simple. It's a lot like the advanced pentagram rituals of the Golden Dawn. I perform a ritual where I invoke the earth energies by drawing the invoking pentagram of earth to the 4 directions. So following the 4 winds model, I do air of earth, drawing the invoking pentagram of earth. To the south, fire of earth. To the west, water of earth. And to the north, earth of earth. Then I tie it to a point below the temple space, below the sacred space, for a spirit of earth, and set it spinning. So we have a whirling tornado of earth energy rising up from the bottom of the temple. That's the base element. So now we need to invoke the modifying element. In this case, it's also earth. So what I do is I invoke through the 4 angles with an upside down backwards pentagram to create a mirror image of the first tornado of energy that's rising up. I create one that's coming down. So from the southeast corner, fire of earth, water of earth, air of earth, earth of earth. And then I tie it to a point above the temple. Set it spinning counterclockwise. So we have 2 opposing elemental fields of energy. One from above, one from below, that aren't quite meeting. Make a 3rd path, and I tie them to the central point in the middle of the axis mundi, the running central pillar of the temple, so that the 2 fields are pinched together. And then with the final act, I pull a whole field through the center. It inverts and creates sort of a torus type energy, if you can imagine, sort of an elongated donut shape. With that field of energy in place, I open my book of Enochian calls, say the right prayers, and call her in. Once she's here, we can meditate for a while, and you'll know when I finish the call, because I'll make a single toll of the bell. And experience the Enochian angel's energy. They're elemental, they're simple, and they're connected directly to the source of creation. Their job, their function, is to provide the elemental energy of this reality, this matrix of causality that we're all in, for its creation. Earth of Earth. Property is roots. Power is healing. Physical regeneration, healing, self-grounding, mediation of physical manifestation of psychic phenomenon, and desire to create and preserve, medical restoration. It's a spirit I work with often. I think you'll enjoy it. So when the single toll comes in, if you wish to commune with the angel, look around in your mind and see if you can find a vision. If there's a vision somewhere in your psyche, feel free to interact with it. If you can't find a vision, that's okay. Just try to be grounded, connected to the center of the earth, and feel her energy. I think you'll find it quite wonderful and healing. So her grounding, centering, and healing energy is basically what we need right now in this time of chaos, unpredictability. So many forces want us to be thrown off balance so that we can't think straight, so we can't function. And she will provide that grounding and centering and physical healing for the days ahead. So we'll invoke her, we'll try to have a vision with her, and then we will ask her for her wisdom and to empower our right for the Pyramid of Powers for the Four of Pentacles. Now this is probably the second ritual. It's a very beginner ritual that I learned when I joined the order. It represents the 40 small cards of the tarot. And it's a wonderfully simple ritual. All you have to do is again invoke the 4 elements using the angles. And this time I'll be again using the earth pentagram. So from the southeast, fire, water, air, and earth. That's the base of the pyramid. And I will be basically imprinting our desire on the 4 worlds of the Kabbalah and guiding it through into manifestation through the 4 Kabbalistic worlds. Then I'll tie it to a point above the temple, to an ultra point. You can imagine those pyramids that people used to meditate in back in the 70s. The structure is a lot like that. Then I will walk the spiral, because this is basically a cone of power ritual from the Wiccans. And once I have generated enough power, of course, I'll be augmented by our angel. I'll invoke the Safra. I'll finally imprint it with our will, attach it to our 4 stones with an invoking spiral. And then I will walk the spiral in reverse, gathering up all the power. And release it. Normally I release the energy through the earth.
North.
Yeah, to the north, which is of course the earth element when we're using the 4 winds model. But I think I will release it towards the camera, and it seems more appropriate for this situation. Simple. It's a lot of steps, but all you really need to remember is when we begin, go into a light trance. When you hear a single toll of the bell, try to commune with the angel, or at least try to feel her energy in your body. At the end of the ritual, I will charge the stones with an invoking spiral, which is clockwise, 3 turns. 1, 2, 3, from the outside to the center. And that's basically it. So in addition, there's one more thing I should mention in passing. We create space, sacred space, always. But the 2 rituals, first is involving a torus shape or an elongated donut shape, so like a tunnel. And then the second ritual is a cone-shaped ritual, a cone-shaped energy form that builds to crescendo and then releases the energy. So we have a feminine form of energy and a masculine form of energy, combined with a connection directly to the divine, to the creator of all things. So the ritual in its total represents also, of course, the great rite, which makes it even more powerful when you consider it that way. So I think without further ado, let's rock. Meditate for a moment and then I'll begin. Yehovah Elohim, Yehovah Eloah Vedat, Shaddai Elhai. Inheritor of a dying world, we call thee to living beauty. wander in the wild darkness. We call thee to the gentle light. Long hast thou dwelt in darkness. Quit the night and seek the day. In ancient times, long before the rise of humanity's civilization, unity became duality and war was waged throughout the inner planes between the forces of light and darkness. Thus, duality and its eternal conflict came into being. The forces of light and darkness each included 400 stellar beings called angels by the ancients. Separate from these beings, a third force existed. 400 angels who remembered the state of unity and who chose to transcend duality. They became the stellar guardians of the Grail, keepers of the divine gnosis, that towards which we aspire. In the name of the stellar guardians of the divine wisdom, I bless the water contained in this chalice. May it become sacred as the flowing waters of the infinite cosmic sea. I bless the salt upon this altar with the divine forces of the gnosis that transcends all polarities. May it embody the strength of formation. The divine magic of Shinnok is the union of opposites. The mixing of the sacred salt and water is the first act of uniting the polarities, the creation of a holy elixir which shall bless this stellar temple. The aeons passed, and humanity proceeded to evolve. As we increased our capabilities, the conflicting forces of light and darkness utilized us as pawns in their struggle. The stellar guardians of the Grail, who wished to assist the process of human evolution, thus freeing us from ignorance, sent 200 of their number to Earth, bringing with them the fire of divine wisdom. The Nephilim descended upon the earth and taught humanity the sacred art of magic, the secrets of the stellar realms, and the blessings of the elements. Humanity was not prepared to receive the ancient stellar wisdom of the Nephilim. We abused the powers, using the most high magic for petty purposes and to gain control over others. Great magical battles were fought, and the contagion of evil covered the earth. The stellar lords, seeing humanity's folly, dispatched 4 mighty angels who seal the Nephilim and their magical arts in the dimensions between worlds, where they silently await our coming, to once again acquire the ancient star lore of the Nephilim. We must prove ourselves worthy. Having done so, we will be given the keys to unlock the stellar gates and commune with the keepers of the divine wisdom. Oro iba eozope exarpe. I summon you forth, O Raphael. Come to us, guardian of the eastern stellar gate. Grace us with your breath, which blows forth as the divine wind. Teaches your virtues, which are equanimity and balance, healing and compassion for others. Deem us worthy to receive the first key, so we may attain the secrets of the high star magic. Oipe te ia a pe te o kei pe tome. Appear before us, Lord Mikael. We conjure you, O protector of humanity. You are as the lightning bolt, which illuminates the dark void. You are the bringer of light, of fire. Teach us your virtues, which are openness to the divine wisdom and illumination. Purify us with your flames and grant that we are worthy to receive the second key, so we may unlock the stellar gates and pass into the realms of the Star Lords. Impehare Selgia Olei Ekomaya. Come to us, Gabriel, Archangel of the Chalice in the Silver Crescent. Teach us your virtues of love, devotion, and selfless sacrifice. Aid us in our deepest meditations, so we may become connected with the source of all consciousness. Help us attain the ecstatic states of being, which reveal to us the third key to the gates of stellar awareness. Mo'a te ale he ke te ga. Na'antea. I invoke you, Uriel, Archangel of the realms of earth. From you we learn the virtues of centeredness and inner contemplation. You teach us stillness, so we can hear the silent voice of the inner self. Appear and aid us, O Uriel. Make manifest the fourth key, which shall allow us to enter the in-between spaces, the inner dimensions of our own being. By learning the virtues of the archangels of the Tetramorph, we are given the keys to unfolding the self. It is the underlying unity of the four elements which bestows upon us the fifth key to the stellar reaches. When we unite the four elements within ourselves, we become truly human. And becoming human, we can attain the stars. The expanse of stars reveals itself. We rush towards the stellar reaches, Come to us, star lords of the Nephilim. We call upon you, E.S.S.G and Azael, lords of the Aralim. Teach us your secrets. Reveal to us our inner selves. Help us attain the celestial spiritual heights. I invoke the powers of the first. We shall open the gates of darkness beyond the spirals of the Azanai. Open the mysteries of creation as a flower. Unto me is a star child, reborn and resurrected. In the name of the unity of being, the power is in my heart, on my lips, in my eyes, and in my soul. O el vinu de lonusa de ael das triani odo eoni. Antar a kami salahote de a azoni zoda. Odo kikale la qua anta lo selque. Pa invete o el I noromi eoi vea ote a goholote a kaelante. Do amaus de yatna. Alanishi ola do mo no nonas. O el do al balam. O el do al ovano anim. O el do el gea. The temple structure is now complete. Only through the living Nepha can the intellect reach the heart and become the haven for the upstream struggle. Then by my hand it would arrive, blissful at the beyond, like with the one within their pyramid who stood up, survivor of their own burial. I have come, we have drawn nigh to see thy beauties. Our two hands are raised in adoration of thy name, both right and truth. And we have come to the place where the acacia tree groweth not, where the tree thick with leaves existeth not, and where the ground yieldeth neither herb nor grass. For we have come to the place of the secret and hidden things. The holy rulers of the pylons are in the forms of the shining ones, and Anubis spoke, saying, they knoweth our paths and our cities. I have been pacified. Therefore, proceed in triumph unto the hall of Osiris. Raphaeoles, to create. Exarepe. Anvuki Tahuti, I beheaded scribe of the gods and keeper of the keys of wisdom. Thy knowledge spans all space and time, and you are the Lord of balance and equilibrium. Hail and welcome, Tahuti. Unare, the sun. Veitome, I invoke thee, Hiru Bahutet, Lord of the raging flame, swift as the hawk in flight, who swoops down victorious over his enemies, and who rises with the golden disk, forged in the fires of Edfu. Hail and welcome, Hiru Bahutet. Seizodoge, love. Hekomaya. I invoke the Osiris, Lord of the two kingdoms, and wearer of the white crown. You are risen from the corridors of the Nether Ket, triumphant over death and ruling in splendor over the western lands. Hail and welcome, Osiris. A treasure. Nanuteya. I invoke the Anubis, jackal-headed guardian of the Kursak Shu, guardian of thy pylons in the pyramid, who watches from the height, unmoved, amongst the swirling desert sand. Hail and welcome, Anubis. Maus piaede enubeha. I invoke thee, Geb, Lord of the earth. You are the provider of stability and form, chief of the gods, who watches the weighing of the hearts and the hall of judgment. Ioles le imnao, zodoge are pilare. Elazope, the way of the initiate. Derunas pe Peyan. I invoke the Sekhmet, Lady of Fire's bright splendor. The illuminated lioness is poised to spring forth from the heart of Ra. Hail and welcome, Sekhmet. Meide o meya. Understanding. Beya he o e o he. I invoke the Ma'at, resplendent vulture lady of truth and balance, whose reed flower rests upon the scales of the universe. You wait in your hall with your 42 assessors to weigh the heart of the initiate. Panetta Apu Ma'et. Hail and welcome, Ma'et. Unape, the unchanging. Teya hea o teya he. I invoke thee, Nephthys, dark sister of Isis. Thou art the lady of the scorched sands of the desert, which receive thy twilight charms and cool, gentle night mists as both a balm and a blessing. Hail and welcome, Nephthys. Vaule, to labor. Thea heu bea tean. I invoke the Isis, horned lady of the moon. You are the queen of the fertile earth, and thy love is descended, flowing forth from sacred pools as tears of untold beauty upon the face of the maiden, beloved of the gods and humanity. Hail and welcome, Isis. Na anane, the secret wisdom. E.S.S.G. I invoke thee, Na'ut, lady of the starry night sky, whose body spans the heavens in a glimmering arch. Galaxies and nebulae rush forth from your infinite form and never-ending circles of time. Va'ul ananael oma nazpeus. Va'o eon. The eternal truth is known through the will penetrating the mysteries. Ora iba eozope. Gisa to. Triumph. I invoke thee, Tumultuous, Lord of the East and royal son of Horus, unleasher of the winds and guardian and keeper of the wand and staff. Hail and welcome, Tumultuous. Oipe te a pe te o ke I. Te ite o peret. The light. I invoke the Imset, Lord of the South and royal son of Horus, keeper of the flame and wielder of the scimitar of righteousness. Hail and welcome, Imset. Limpeha oreeste gea olei. Umapeya. Eternal life. I invoke the Kehedznuef, Lord of the West and royal son of Horus. You provide over the rivers and seas and are keeper of the sacred vessel of fulfillment. Hail and welcome, Kehedznuef. Mo'a te ale heke tega. Te ru no ibe. The affirmation. I invoke thee happy, Lord of the North and royal son of Horus. You are the keeper of the dish which holds the treasures produced from the rich black lands, an infinite source of life. Hail and welcome, happy. To olipre ateya no ibe toaz. The divine wisdom and union are in the center wherein the secret awaits. Deo ean. Teach us, O Creator of all things, to have correct knowledge and understanding, for your wisdom is all we desire. Speak your word into our ear, O Creator of all things, and set your wisdom in our hearts. Amen. Behold the ring. Lo, this is it, wherein all miracles, divine works, and wonders were wrought by Solomon. This is it, which the archangel Michael has revealed to me. This is it, which philosophy dreamt of. This is it, which the archangel scarce know. This is it, and blessed be its name, yea, its name be blessed forever. For out this we shall do nothing. Blessed be its name that encompasses all things. Wonders are in it, and its name is wonderful. Tele, its name works wonders from generation to generation. Amen. Behold the layman, as his holy table conciliates heaven and earth. Let this layman, which I place over my heart, conciliate me to the holy table. Amen. Sapa zeri de duva o de noas ta que anis adarke dorfal ka oski o de efa o inte peri posal ta balior kasarge ari fazi naaz arta aef ude de leguar zi zop deli dea kastargi tutorgi ude zi kasi iasal saa el ude viv ude iaud ta'il elde deis pira hubar pir oel es o bea ku kurma efa que ista ela veles ode que co que aspe ba ne is ode ka reba es quea as if tu tarzi ode belegior ia el Iadaneis, Kikeleis, Bagele, Iade El. Tu amaos de nantea, que hoas de queaan. De amaos de Isaac, que hoas de Jaida. Tu amaos de Hirelak
kevu to ke amauste huaste shaida. Do amauste el he te ga ke huaste shaida. Do amauste el zino po ke huaste shaida. Do amauste la I de Roim que hoaste shaitan. Do amaste akazi noar que hoaste shaitan. Do amaste Elian sa do que hoaste shaitan. Peaceful angel who waters the earth in her creatures, that we may live in light and comfort perpetually. Descend and make us partakers of your love. About the pay or bizod. In the names of Haramael, Obaraxon, and Nagmanteya, I ask that the angel Abal Pete or bizod appear and aid us.
Opete Arvaido. Healing angel, earth of earth, grounding, centering. Grant us your wisdom, that we may persevere and thrive in these troubling times. We ask that you empower this rite of magic, which shall ensure our protection and security, that our social institutions shall serve us as they are meant to, and not be twisted to the desires of people who have hate and anger in their hearts. By this ritual of sacred geometry, I call the elements together. United, they form the pyramid of power. And when the pyramid is crowned with the open eye of spiritual awareness, it shall become an expression of our true will. Then we shall find that all our desires have come to be. You are the presence of the archetypal plane of absolute, of fire, wherein the divine twins are conjoined in endless ecstasy. From you, we are inspired to seek out our true will. Help us attain the inspiration necessary so we can find the source of protection and security and grounding and healing that we need in this time of trouble. Eko Maya. I'm called the Eko Maya, presence of the archetypal plane of Priya. You are the love that encircles our will and guides us with ideas towards creation. Help us to guide ourselves forward with love in our hearts and purity of our actions, so we may attain healing, grounding, and security in these times of trouble. You are the presence of the archetypal plane of air. Within your realm, unity becomes the 10,000 things. Guide us with your subtle synchronicities so we may make the choices which help us attain the security, healing, and grounding that we need, not be distracted by the drama and nonsense of the times that we live in. Nanutea. Nanutea. You're the pure one, the presence of the archetypal plane of E.S.S.G. Within your realms, all things manifest. Through our social sphere, through our interactions with others, which is where all true meaning and insight comes from. Help us to manifest our sacred social institutions that they may protect us as they are intended, that we may find security and grounding within the community, and that things shall work the way they are intended. Pyramid structure is now complete. Igipa de aves, uniglo hugo bien, adute lunusa, lape, dir, huat de jaida. Igipa de aves, uniglo hugo de lunusa, lape, dir, huat de jaida. Igipa de aves uniglo pugo bien arude lunusa, lape, zir, hoas de jaida. Igipa de aves uniglo pugo bien arude lunusa, lape, zir, hoas de jaida. I name you, ray of light from my deity. You are I unite the field in the names of Osiris and Isis and their unity within all beings. You are Hesed E.S.S.G, Lord of earthly power. I draw you down, I call you into me. Eheya, 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 eheya. Avavago de Keozior, dogs bien. Ugo Molovi, Queaan Pilare. Avavago de Keozior, dogs bien. Ugo Queaan Pilare. Lape, Zir, Hoat, de Jaida. Avavago de Keozior, dogs
on Pilare, Lape, Zir, Hawa, Dejaida. Go de Keuzio, dogs, bien que on Pilare, Lape, Zir, Hawa, Dejaida. Uriel, we thank you for your assistance, your guardianship, and your grounding. Thank you for your assistance. Gabriel, we thank you for your guardianship and your lessons of selfless sacrifice. Thank you for your assistance. Lord Mikael, we thank you for your protection and your illumination. Thank you for your assistance. Lord Raphael, we thank you for your healing and insight. Thank you for your assistance and guardianship with our ritual. May all spirits that have been bound or restrained in any way by our ritual be free to return to their appointed places. Do the merit.
By this merit, may all sentient beings achieve peace.
The ritual is now complete.